आपको आवाज बेटे आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है,
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Now we are starting today's lecture. My name is Dr. Bharat from Medical Unit 3. Now today's topic is liver transplantation. Liver transplantation. आवाज आ रही है ना? ठीक.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Now what is the definition of liver transplantation? Now whenever patient becomes diseased, when liver is not functioning, then we remove that liver and we replace it with new one. That process is called liver transplantation. Now what are the indication of liver transplantation? So there are different indication in children and different indication in adult. So first of all, what are the indication of liver transplantation in the children? Number one is the biliary atresia, means from there is no any formation of biliary tract. Number one indication. Second indication is neonatal hepatitis. For example, at birth he has developed this hepatitis, that is called the neonatal hepatitis. Third is the congenital hepatic fibrosis. There is a hepatic fibrosis throughout the liver is fibrosed congenitally. Then certain disease, for example, alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, that is hereditary disorder. Then other inherited disorders of metabolism, for example, Wilson disease, familial hypercholesterolemia, or hemophilia, that is blood disorder due to deficiency of clotting factor 8, that is also formed in the liver. So that the liver transplantation is also indicated in these two disorder. For blood disorder, one is the hemophilia and familial hypercholesterolemia, that is also indication for liver transplantation. Okay. Now in adult indication of liver transplantation in adults are the cirrhosis. Second is the chronic viral hepatitis. Chronic viral hepatitis, maybe hepatitis B, hepatitis C. These are most important disease which lead to the chronic viral hepatitis. Then is the fulminant hepatitis. Fulminant hepatitis means patient becomes unconscious within new onset of hepatitis, in which patient becomes unconscious, goes in hepatic coma. For example, hepatitis B, that is called fulminant hepatitis. Or primary hepatocellular carcinoma, that is also indication. If size is small, that is resectable, that is also indication of liver transplantation. Another indication is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, that is nowadays, that is common disease. Steatohepatitis, fatty liver, another name is fatty liver, that is common disease nowadays. That is also indication of this liver transplantation. Autoimmune hepatitis, that is another variety. Hepatic vein thrombosis, that's also indication of this liver transplantation. Now, what are the contraindications? So suppose he is a candidate for liver transplantation, but we cannot transplant liver. There are certain contraindications. What are the contraindications? Number one is the uncontrolled infection. That means then bacterial or uncontrolled septicemia, uncontrolled infection must be controlled before liver transplantation. Otherwise, this liver transplantation will not be accepted. Second is the advanced cardiopulmonary disease. If any person is suffering from cardiac disease or pulmonary disease advanced, then he is unfit for this liver transplantation. Extrahepatic malignancy means any malignancy which is outside the liver, means in malignancy of other organ, that is also contraindication. Metastatic malignancy to the liver, that is also contraindication. AIDS, if patient is having from the HIV infection, that's also contraindication. Life-threatening systemic disease, for example, SLE, that is affect multiple system and patient is serious, that's also contraindication. Active substance of alcohol abuse, for example, a person continues to drink alcohol, then there is no any benefit of liver transplantation, because after liver transplantation he continues to drink the alcohol, then again there will be cirrhosis, so no any benefit. These were the strictly absolute contraindication. There are also relative contraindication in which we can liver transplantation can be done. Now, types of donor. Now, from where we will get liver for transplantation? One is the cadaver, another is the living. Cadaver means person who has brain death, means patient who has died, but his circulation and blood pressure is maintained, but brain death means no chances of living good life, means brain death, but only his circulation is maintained by artificially, means by ventilation and his inotropic support, his blood pressure and oxygenation is maintained, but he is dead. So in that we take the liver and we transplant to another person. Another donor is the living. Living means alive, and we can remove the only part of the liver. Right lobe can be removed, left lobe can be removed, and it can be transplanted in a diseased person. So these are various types, cadaver and living. Now, how this, for example, we have cadaver donor. Patient is, for example, road traffic accident. Patient is expired. He is brain dead, but his circulation is maintained and his oxygenation is maintained. Then there are certain criteria, means can we remove the liver from that person, dead person, because there are certain criteria that has to be fulfilled. For example, there should be no any infection of that person, there should be no any trauma to the liver, or there should be no any liver dysfunction. He should not be suffering from hepatitis B or C. That liver is acceptable for the transplantation. If the liver is already diseased and there is trauma, there is disseminated infection, that liver is unacceptable. That will not be accepted by this recipient. That will be rejected. So these points has to be made before taking the liver. And now what is the duration? Now patient, suppose patient is expired, he is maintained, he must be maintained, oxygenation and circulation must be maintained. Otherwise there will be necrosis of liver and that liver will not be accepted. And within 12 to 20 hours, we have to take the liver from that brain dead person. And after removing that liver, we place in a cold solution and we pack in the ice and then protect it, and it has to be transplanted within 12 hours, because otherwise it will not survive. So there is a list of donors and these are already informed and selected recipient is informed and that liver is transplanted. Now, for example, there are many patients who candidates for the liver transplantation. Now, selection, though need when there is priority, there is emergency or urgency, that patient receive the this liver transplantation. For example, most important priority should be given to the acute fulminant hepatitis. Or second most important indication is there is non-dysfunction or rejection of previous graft. Then these are the important indication of liver transplantation. So this is decided by this MELD score. MELD score must be about 20. So to prove the candidacy for this liver transplantation, we assess the person with MELD score, and that score must be more than 20 to prove the candidacy. And plus, if there is an emergency, for example, priority should be given to the acute fulminant hepatitis, or if there is already rejection of the graft, then priority should be given to this group of patients. Then, for example, we have donated, we have transplanted. What are the post-operative management? How, what is post-operative management? Because it is possible that liver may be rejected. Liver may be rejected. So there are immunosuppressive drugs are usually given. Most important drug is cyclosporin, or second is the tacrolimus, third is the steroid prednisolone, and azathioprine or mycophenolate. So in these three drugs are given cyclosporin or tacrolimus. We have select one drugs with the steroid prednisolone, with azathioprine or mycophenolate. We have to select one drug out of these two drugs. Side effects of cyclosporin and tacrolimus are these. These are the nephrotoxic. Both azathioprine and mycophenolate both can cause bone marrow suppression. So these drugs have to be taken by the patient to accept this graft. Now, second, now what are the complications? For example, we have transplanted the liver. What are the complications? So there may be infection, liver infection, septicemia. Most important complication are liver transplant rejection. Second most complication is the second most important complication is recurrence of the primary disease. For example, we have transplanted the liver for hepatitis C. So there's chance of recurrence of same disease, hepatitis C. If one is suffering from hepatitis B, he has developed cirrhosis, we have transplanted in that patient, there is again chance of recurrence of same disease. So these are two most important complications. Now for first complication, transplant rejection, we have already discussed these. We have to use this immunosuppressive drugs. For example, cyclosporin and azathioprine or tacrolimus or mycophenolate. Now, second is the recurrence of the primary disease. Now, how to prevent this recurrence of this disease? For example, patient is having hepatitis B. He had developed cirrhosis liver. We have transplanted. Now, there are again chances of recurrence of the same disease. Now, question is how to prevent this? How to prevent the recurrence of the primary disease? Then, for the prevention, we usually give hepatitis B immunoglobulin along with anti-K1 or tenofovir. This hepatitis B immunoglobulin is started on the day of operation and it is continuous given for 6 days. And again for at the 6 weeks interval or indefinitely, and we measure the hepatitis B immunoglobulin in the serum level. If level is decreased, then we again infuse this hepatitis B immunoglobulin. So that is very costly. That is very expensive. Okay, hepatitis B immunoglobulin is very expensive. So that's why if costly treatment. So, but if viral load is small, then usually we stop this hepatitis B immunoglobulin after 6 months, and we usually continue only with anti-KVR or tenofovir. We select only one drug, anti-KVR or tenofovir. Both are equally effective, and this is usually continued indefinitely, and there are chances of seroconversion, means hepatitis B surface antigen may become negative. So usually in many centers, both this combination is given, or in a very small viral load, only this oral drug anti-KVR or tenofovir is also sufficient without any hepatitis B immunoglobulin. So that depends on the viral load of the patient. For the prevention of hepatitis C, for example, that is the commonest in Western countries, commonest cause of cirrhosis is the alcoholic, and then in our community, commonest cause is hepatitis B and C. So if cirrhosis is due to hepatitis C and that liver is removed, then again chances of recurrence. Then how to prevent the hepatitis C? So various direct acting antiviral drugs are available. These are most combination is usually given, that is a valpattezepur plus sofosbuvir with ribavirin. That is one combination. Second is the lady Tesper with sofosbuvir with ribavirin. That is another. You have to select any one category. These both regimes are equally effective. So now graft rejections, for how you know that patient is developing the graft rejection after liver transplantation. There is possible that there is rejection of the graft. How you know that patient has developed graft rejection? So there may be acute rejection, there may be chronic rejection. Acute rejection usually occurs with after 10 to after 1 or 2 weeks. So how it will present? Patient usually come. Patient will complain of fever, right abdominal pain, and on LFT we usually get increased bilirubin and increased prothrombin time. So these are indicative. We must suspect, we can suspect, but there are other disease which can cause similar symptom and investigation. So we have to correctly diagnose whether there is liver dysfunction or another disease. For example, any viral hepatitis or any recurrence of the same disease or any other viral disease, cytomegalovirus infection or biliary channel blockage or vascular blockage. So these are complication of surgery, or it can occur. So these things have to be differentiated from the liver rejection. So how you will differentiate liver rejection from these disease? So then we have again investigate. We will advise ultrasound of liver to know the patency of biliary channel, because biliary channel obstruction is important differential diagnosis. So we have to advise ultrasound liver, and if there are liver biliary channels are intact open, that means biliary obstruction, there is no biliary obstruction. Then liver biopsy is usually done to confirm the liver this rejection of the graft. What happens that if liver rejection of graft occurs, then there will be necrosis, infiltration of cells, and in chronic case there may be fibrosis, cholestasis. So final biopsy we can confirm whether there is rejection of the graft or another disease. And then we will, if there acute rejection, then we usually immunosuppressive drugs are certain, or sometimes methyl prednisolone or this anti-thymocyte globulin is also given. Anti-thymocyte globulin or monoclonal antibodies against the T cell. These are also given in acute emergency when there is acute rejection of graft. To survive this graft, this acute, these measures are usually adopted. And in case of chronic rejection, so these immunosuppressive drugs are given. But if immunosuppressive drugs are ineffective, then liver is again removed, and there is a liver transplantation again for the second time. This disease rejected graft is removed, and another graft is added. Guruji.